Two people can visit Iceland, follow almost the same route, and come home describing completely different countries. One talks about driving at 11 at night under golden light, stopping at waterfalls whenever they want, and feeling like the island never really goes to sleep. The other talks about 4 or 5 hours of usable daylight, roads that suddenly become questionable, wind that changes the entire mood of the day, and northern lights that never appeared. Both are telling the truth. That is the thing tourists misunderstand about Iceland. You are not just choosing where to go. You are choosing which Iceland is going to exist for you. This is why so many Iceland trips go wrong before the traveler even lands. People build a list of places: Reykjavik, Golden Circle, South Coast, black sand beaches, glaciers, lagoons, maybe the Ring Road, maybe the Highlands, maybe Northern Lights. Then they choose dates based on price or vacation time and assume the country will adjust. Iceland does not adjust. Iceland is one of the rare destinations where the season does not just change the weather. It changes the rules of the trip. That is the first real mistake. Planning Iceland like the map is the main thing. The map is not the main thing. The season is. In summer, roughly June through August, Iceland gives you long daylight, easier driving, greener landscapes, access to more remote areas, puffins in some places, and the possibility of stretching the day in a way that feels almost unreal. Around the peak of summer, daylight can last so long that time starts feeling fake. You can eat dinner, look outside, and your brain still thinks the day is not finished. That version of Iceland is incredible if you understand what you are buying. It is the road trip version. It is the flexible version. It is the version where you can drive late, recover time, chase better weather, and see a lot without feeling like darkness is pushing you indoors. But here's the catch. Everyone knows summer is easier, which means prices are higher, crowds are stronger, popular stops are busier, and the most famous places can feel much less wild than they looked online. Summer gives you access. It does not give you solitude for free. Winter gives you a different country. From roughly November through March, Iceland becomes darker, colder, more atmospheric, and much less forgiving. This is when people come for northern lights, ice caves, snowy landscapes, frozen waterfalls, and that dramatic Arctic feeling that looks incredible in photos. And winter Iceland can be unforgettable, but it is not summer with snow added. It is a different operating system. The days are shorter, the roads are more vulnerable, the weather matters more, and your itinerary has less room to pretend it is in charge. This is where tourists create their own disappointment. They book winter because they want aurora, then plan like they still have summer daylight. They imagine waking up, driving for hours, seeing several major stops, doing a glacier activity, eating slowly, and still having time to hunt northern lights at night. But winter does not give you that kind of day. Winter gives you a narrow window. If you use it badly, the whole trip starts feeling like you are racing the sun and losing. And then there is the northern lights mistake. People treat the aurora like an attraction they can schedule. It is not. You need darkness, clear skies, solar activity, patience, and luck. Iceland can give you all the right conditions and still not give you the show on the night you wanted. If you understand that, northern lights become a bonus that shapes the trip without controlling it. If you don't, you build the entire vacation around something the country never promised you. This is why the best Iceland plan starts with a question most tourists ask too late. Do you want the Iceland of movement or the Iceland of atmosphere? If you want movement, summer or the shoulder months make more sense. If you want atmosphere, winter can be magical, but you need a slower route and more patience. If you want highlands, remote roads, and long driving days, you are not really choosing Iceland in general. You are choosing a summer version of Iceland. If you want ice caves and northern lights, you are choosing a winter version. Trying to combine all of those dreams into one short trip is how Iceland starts pushing back. The second big mistake is thinking the Ring Road is the default trip. The Ring Road looks so clean on a map that it feels like the obvious answer. One road around the island. Simple. But in Iceland, simple on a map does not always mean simple in real life. The full loop can be amazing with enough time, the right season, and a traveler who actually enjoys driving. But if you force it into too few days, it turns into a moving hotel room with waterfalls outside the window. This is the part people do not want to hear. A smaller Iceland trip can feel bigger than a full loop. If you have 5, 6, or 7 days, a focused route around Reykjavik, the Golden Circle, the South Coast, Snæfellsnes, or Reykjanes may give you a better experience than trying to prove you circled the island. You will see fewer dots on the map, but you may actually feel more of the country. That is very Icelandic. The place gets larger when you stop rushing through it. The third mistake is treating driving like a neutral part of the trip. In many countries, driving is just transportation. In Iceland, driving is part of the experience and part of the risk. Wind, gravel, visibility, ice, sheep, one-lane bridges, sudden weather, and long gaps between services all change how the road feels. Official safety guidance in Iceland regularly points travelers toward checking weather and road conditions before driving, because conditions can change quickly and routes that look reasonable may not be reasonable when the weather turns. Safe travel and official road/weather services exist for a reason. If you understand this, driving Iceland can be one of the best parts of the trip. You leave buffer time. You check conditions. You stop only where it is safe. You respect closures. You accept that sometimes the smart decision is not moving. If you do not understand this, you treat the road like an empty scenic corridor built for your photos. And Iceland is very good at correcting that attitude. The Highlands are where this becomes even more serious. F-roads are not normal tourist roads with a cooler name. They are seasonal mountain roads, often rough, remote, and only appropriate with the right vehicle, conditions, and experience. Some involve river crossings. Some are only open in summer. A normal rental car is not a magic key because the road looked close on Google Maps. If you understand that, the Highlands become one of Iceland's great rewards. If you don't, they become an expensive lesson in why the island has rules. The next mistake is treating nature like scenery instead of force. Iceland is almost too beautiful for tourists' own good. A black sand beach looks like a movie set. A glacier looks solid from far away. A waterfall looks like something you can walk right up to. A cliff looks like a perfect photo. A geothermal area looks strange and harmless. But Iceland's landscapes are not props. Rianistra sneaker waves are not dramatic branding. Glacier areas are not casual playgrounds. Hot spring zones are not decorative steam effects. The landscape is active, and it does not care whether the photo would have been good. This is where Iceland differs from many scenic destinations. In other places, the landscape is often the reward after the planning. In Iceland, the landscape is the authority. It decides where you can stand, how close you can go, whether the road works, whether the hike is safe, whether the view appears, and whether the day you planned still makes sense. If you treat nature as the main character, Iceland becomes more powerful. If you treat it as background, the country starts feeling hostile. Cost is another mistake, but not in the way people think. Everyone knows Iceland is expensive. That part is not a secret. The mistake is thinking the solution is simply to spend as little as possible. Iceland is one of those countries where comfort and safety overlap more than people expect. The cheaper rental car may limit your route. The wrong clothing may ruin a day. The badly located hotel may add hours of driving. The tour you skipped may have been the safer way to experience a glacier or ice cave. Saving money in Iceland is smart. Saving money in the exact places that protect the trip is not. If you understand that, you spend intentionally. You use groceries when it makes sense. Choose lodging based on route rather than fantasy. Pay for the right car for the actual roads, and bring waterproof layers that can handle the country you are visiting. If you don't, Iceland becomes expensive anyway, just in a more annoying form. You pay with discomfort, wasted time, missed experiences, and decisions made while cold, wet, or tired. The final mistake is chasing the Iceland from the wrong photograph. This might be the most common mistake of all. Someone sees midnight sun photos and books winter. Someone sees northern lights and books July. Someone sees empty roads and books peak season. Someone sees the Highlands and arrives before the roads are open. Someone sees a calm blue lagoon, a perfect black beach, a glowing glacier cave, and a lonely road under a pink sky, and assumes all of that belongs to the same trip. It usually does not. Iceland is not one fantasy. It is a set of trade-offs. Summer gives you light, access, and movement, but not northern lights. Winter gives you darkness, ice, and atmosphere, but not easy long days. Shoulder season gives you fewer crowds and moodier conditions, but more uncertainty. The ring road gives you scale, but demands time. A focused route gives you depth, but asks you to stop collecting the whole country. So the real framework is simple. If this is your first trip and you have limited time, do not start with the question, how do I see everything? Start with, which Iceland am I actually choosing? If you want daylight and road freedom, build a summer or shoulder season road trip. If you want aurora and ice, build a slower winter trip and accept that conditions are part of the deal. If you want the ring road, give it enough days to breathe. If you want the Highlands, choose the right season and take the roads seriously. If you want Iceland to feel wild, stop planning like wilderness is supposed to be convenient. The truth about Iceland is that tourists don't usually fail because they picked the wrong waterfall or skipped the wrong lagoon. They fail because they think the country in the photo is waiting for them exactly as advertised. But Iceland is not waiting. It is changing. The light changes. The wind changes. The road changes. The season changes the entire personality of the island. And the difference between a frustrating Iceland trip and an unforgettable one is whether you arrive trying to control the country or ready to let the country tell you what kind of trip you are actually allowed to have. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, smash that like button and subscribe to When to Travel. We're all about helping you make smarter travel decisions. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And hey, if you think your friends need this, share it. Comment below with your next destination or your biggest travel question. I'm reading all of them. Let's go.